of just like,
Wow. I'm just saying, some of us come prepared and take this seriously. Some of us clearly don't.
oh gosh, a tangent, but I have a alarm for sleep training. So it's like this thing where I go 2:30 every day. I go upstairs in my bed and I go through the motions of getting up. Anyway, Grant, cut this out.
Wait. No. We're gonna need to pivot slightly for this one. What? Welcome, dog moms and dads.
Yeah, welcome dog moms and dads to our show where we discuss the everyday joys and challenges of pet parenting. I'm your host, Jen.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is the Dog Mom Podcast presented by ZippyPaws.
Yeah. This
I don't know how to sing.
This is what you guys are missing. All right, this is an exciting episode, though.
Is it? I hope so.
I'm pumped for it. I think it's worth pointing out that everyone who has a dog is a dog mom, right? Like, there are tons and tons of dog moms out there. But what I think is interesting about you is that you started a company after you became a dog mom. You were so inspired by your pup that you started ZippyPaws. So you definitely have a different perspective than most people out there, I would say.
I think so, but I like to think of myself as like a regular dog mom that just so happens to work in the pet industry. Like I don't really have any like super, I mean, I'm not really experienced in kind of like like wellness or training or anything. It's just I happen to be in the pet sphere, you know? So
I'm a cool dog mom.
Yeah, I'm a cool. Okay, the video is a bad idea because why are we even doing video and people can see how weird we are? So in case you haven't known, yeah, we've started uploading all of our episodes onto YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and search Dog Mom Podcast, you'll find us there. And for the first few episodes, which we didn't record, they are just like photos so you can hear our sound. But this episode and the last one, we're starting to do video, so hopefully you guys like it. Don't watch it.
Hopefully you don't, so we don't have to keep doing this.
Ashley is so anti-video, but I think people love to see her, so I know I do. So
just gonna be like, oh, shut up, stop flattering.
Yeah, we're just gonna
like
hide behind the mic. So we kind of have to remember to tell people that, you know, what we're doing in the video. And for those people who are listening on the podcast, like on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, we kind of have to be like, so Ashley just eye rolled, so I have to caption.
Okay. If we're pointing out every time, if we're pointing out every single time that I eye roll, that's going to be the entire podcast.
We just need to have like a sound that I can press, like a soundboard where I press and you're eye rolling.
You just make it a meow.
That'd be cute.
All right. So, but I mean, going back to the original point I was making is that you are an inspiration to a lot of people. And I think that there are a lot of dog moms out there that, given the opportunity, if you told them, hey, you could start your own business and you can work with dogs all day, that's the goal. Your hashtag goals at this point. So I'm excited for you to share your story. And I think most of our listeners, if not all of them, will be excited too.
Yeah, this is definitely the dream job for me. I think growing up, I didn't really know what I would be doing. When I was like very young, I wanted to be like an interior designer. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a photographer. All of these like creative fields that, you know, as an Asian girl growing up, that's just not what you aspire to because your parents want you to be like doctors or lawyers or things like that. But my parents weren't really super strict in what they wanted me to be. They didn't really like tell me they had any expectations, but my dad being a business person, he always wanted me to start my own business or work in business basically. And I never really have any interest. I just like, as a kid growing up, I just didn't really know what I was gonna do, right? I knew I wanted to get good grades and go to a good school, but I really didn't really have a direction in life. So I didn't even think that I was gonna do ZippyPaws until I started it, basically.
So what kind of led up to that? What were the immediate things? Like when did you really get that inspiration to start ZippyPaws?
I think I've always kind of been interested in pets because growing up, my parents worked for another dog toy company. So they've been in the industry for a long time, and my dad was like the importer. He was like the manufacturer for another well-known dog toy company. I won't mention who.
That we will not name.
We will not name. No hard feelings towards them or anything.
I mean, unless they want to pay us. If they want a name slot, they could like send over that money. But
okay, yeah. So wait, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So growing up, I really I've just been immersed in the dog toy industry, and I remember like summer breaks or winter breaks when I didn't really have anything to do at school. I would go with my parents to their office, and I would hear them talking about kind of like the whole process, and sometimes we had to do some work for them, like we had to go pick up some boxes or like tape up some boxes and things like that. My parents made me do all that, so free labor for them back then.
Right.
So yeah, I just guess growing up I've always been kind of dabbled in the pet industry, but I never thought that I would kind of like create my own company. And so what led up to me starting ZippyPaws was when I was graduating from college. My dad and this company that he worked for, they kind of separated and they just ended their working relationship. And so my dad wanted me to take over his import business, and that's not something that a 21-year-old person. Yeah, so that's not something that I really want to do, and that it just didn't appeal to me. At the time, I was like interviewing for a lot of big companies. So I didn't really have any interest in that. But one day my dad sat me down and told me, like he has a 10-year, 15-year relationship with these factories. And if he were to stop, they would just end their relationship indefinitely. And if I ever wanted to start something in pets, then it would be very difficult to actually start those relationships again. So then I thought about it and I said, I don't really want to take over your business and work for someone else. I kind of want to start my own thing. What do you think about me designing my own toys? And I guess he just said go for it. He didn't really say anything negative, and he just like really supported me and said, if you want to, then we can start. So then, I don't know, just being young and naive, I thought I could build a whole company with my little doodles that I drew in my iPad, and I did it. So
spoiler alert, here we are.
So I graduated college a year before my peers. So I figured that even if I spent 1 year developing ZippyPaws and it failed, I wouldn't have lost anything. I wouldn't have lost any time. I think my biggest fear back then was I didn't want to fall behind. So with kind of like that naivete and huge confidence, I guess, I started ZippyPaws and started designing toys.
And it's funny that not wanting to fall behind was such a big concern, because I feel like in your 20s, that's like that's the thing, right? You want to be in line with everyone else. And in reality, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in a relationship, your timeline is not going to be like anybody else's. But that's such a key thing in your 20s, looking back now. Like, even if you had fallen behind 1 or 2 years and still created this and still had the same outcome, it's still a monumental success.
Yeah, it's something that I always say. That's one thing that really pushed me to start ZippyPaws. And I know it doesn't matter to me now, but at the time it mattered to me a lot. Being kind of like a perfectionist, I always had this timeline for myself, whereas like 21, I want to graduate from college, and then 25, I want to get married, and then 28, I wanted to have a kid, and 30, I need to be successful, and by 40, I want to build my own house and things like that.
I'm looking at my timeline like, oh, no, not so much.
I'm like, I still want to build my own house at 40, but everything else did not really pan out. And I think to people who are just starting their careers, or even your 30s, 40s, 50s, and you want to start your own company, it's never too late.
Do it, yeah.
Don't really listen to what other people say, that it's too late for you to do any of this. You've been in this relationship too long. It's not worth it to get out or anything like that. That's all false. It's on your head. So I like to tell people that that's what prompted me to start my own company. But if I thought about it now, like, that wouldn't be something that held me back.
I think one of the questions that we get asked the most on social media, that I get asked all the time, be it from press, from people, how did you come up with the name ZippyPaws?
It's not as involved as you would think. I knew I wanted the word pause in it because I wanted a word that would convey that it was a pet company without saying so-and-so pet company, right? There are a lot of brands out there that have pet or dog in their name, and I just didn't want something like that. I wanted to stand out a little bit more. So that's where I came out with the word pause, because even if I do dog toys or cat toys, they all pets, these pets all have paws. So I like the name Paws, and then I wanted something in front of it to kind of make us stand out from the crowd. And I liked Zippy because it means fun, lively, and I just think it just sounded like it just flowed naturally. And when I was thinking about other names, I just always came back to this. So just ZippyPaws. It's such a cute name, and I love it. So that's how we came up with the name.
And I think it's so indicative of the brand itself too. I think we are a fun and lively company. Yeah. I think your toys are fun and lively.
Yeah. So the idea of ZippyPaws, I wanted to kind of design toys for our generation, people our age who have pets. And when I started, I was 21, and everything on the market was just kind of boring, blah. They all were like squirrels or mallards. They yes. tended to be a little bit more kind of like training tools, and like how would
things you wouldn't want lying on the floor in your living room when people came over.
Right. They kind of evolved from training tools such as like those duck I don't even know how those called, but like you would bring these tools out into the wild to train your dogs to fetch.
The hunting,
hunting,
the hunting and retrieving tools.
Right. So when I first started, it was like just when that was transitioning into like making actual toys for dogs. And back when my dad started in like the 90s, and he went to factories to look for manufacturers, to look for partners in producing these toys, the factories never heard of like actual making dog toys. They're like, you mean we actually are going to produce toys that dogs are going to chew? Like, that seemed like such a novel idea. These plush animals are for kids, they're not for adults, and they're not for dogs, for pets. So when I started, it was kind of like they already transitioned into making dog toys, but they were still kind of in the old-fashioned realm, I guess I would say. So I wanted to create toys that I would like and my friends would like. So I never really thought about doing any type of like market research or anything like that. I just wanted to make toys that I would buy. And luckily that resonated with a lot of our customers. So I mean, I recommend doing market research, but back then I just
I mean, it works though, right? Because one of our target demographics is essentially you and I. It's us. Mm-hmm. And so you are your own market research. Your friends are your own market research. It's a little bit more of a guerrilla style of doing it, but it's still research.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sell yourself short there. So what's your favorite early memory of ZippyPaws? Because I feel like they're probably broken down maybe by a timeline, but what's one of your earliest successes / favorite memories? Aside from when you hired me, which isn't really an early memory, but we all know that's your favorite.
I'm like, where's that meow button where I can roll my eyes? So I think I have several favorite memories that I like to share. I think one of the earliest ones was maybe about a year or so after I started ZippyPaws. We live in Southern California, and in the Orange County, we have this show called America's Family Pet Expo that happens every April, I believe. And that year, I decided to get a little booth. It was like a 10 by 10 tiny booth, and I just brought a bunch of my toys. And this was even before I started selling on the website or on Amazon or anything like that. Like, I literally just got these shipment of toys in, and I wanted to get some market research, and I want to get some feedback who are, not my friends and family. So I brought a basket of toys, and one of our first sellers are called the Squeaky Buddies. We still sell them now, but they're just like these little toys that had a squeaker in them. And I did a discount for a buddy for $1, and I don't know, just people just really, really love them. And I had a janitor come up to me who was like actually like sweeping the floors at the show, and he wanted to get one for his daughter, like the pink bunny. And he says, these are dog toys. Like, they don't even look like dog toys. I love them so much. Like, they look like kids' toys, and I think my daughter would really, really love them. So that was like one of my first memory of like people really, like my designs really resonated with them. And I don't know, it was just so sweet because he was like an old man, and he was like, oh, my daughter will love this. So his daughter must have been like 30 or something.
I think those milestones are important though.
Yeah. And I really remember them. Like a lot of the memories that I have of the company aren't really like numbers related, like not when we sold 1 million dog toys or anything like that, but it's just like talking to people and how they feel or the experience that they have with my toys. I think those are like the really memorable ones.
Didn't you have a fun story traveling about ZippyPaws?
Yeah, I did. So this was, oh gosh, I'm so bad with my years. I think this was 2014. So about 3 years after I started the company, I was traveling with 2 of my girlfriends for her bachelorette trip to Belize. I'm like, who does a bachelorette trip to Belize, right? What is that life like?
Right.
So we were traveling down there, and then one day we crossed the border over to Guatemala to visit the ancient ruins. And I was sitting there at lunch, just hanging out, and this couple next to me started talking to me, and they're from Chicago. and they were telling me, so I told them kind of about like what I do since they asked, and they're like, oh, my dogs love this one particular toy. It has this banana and had 3 little monkeys inside. I'm like, no. And they're like, yeah, that's my dog's favorite. That. I'm like, well, that's mine. So it was just like really funny to meet just some random strangers halfway across the world, and they know about my product. And I don't know, it was just like that first story where I was like, wow, like I'm having like a really big impact, right? And people actually really like my toys.
Well, it's an even bigger deal for you, because up until just a couple months ago, really, you were hand drawing every single toy. So it was a labor of love from beginning to end for you.
Yeah, definitely. And this is something that we don't really talk about too much, but we do hand draw all of our designs. So if you listen to our show, you know that recently I just hired a product designer. So I'm not sitting down hand drawing every single one right now, but she does. Yeah, she does. But so I've been doing this for almost 10 years of just like...
Wow. I'm just saying, some of us come prepared and take this seriously. Some of us clearly don't.
Oh gosh, a tangent, but I have a alarm for sleep training. So it's like this thing where I go 2:30 every day. I go upstairs in my bed and I go through the motions of getting up. Anyway.
Wait. No. We're gonna need to pivot slightly for this one. What?
Yeah, because I have a really, really terrible habit of snoozing. So I can stay in bed for an hour and snooze.
Oh, easy.
Yeah,
there's a solution for this. I thought it was just laziness. Not maybe not you, but for me.
I mean, I know I'm not a morning person. I hate getting up early, and with the quarantine, I've just been getting up later and later and later, where to the point where I've just shifted my whole work schedule, where I start working at 10 and and end at like 8.
Which is really helpful for those of us that start at 6:30.
I know you're always up at 6:30. So I'm in this like little accountability group with some strangers who I've turned into friends, and one of them is doing this like sleep training where the whole thought process is just like anything else. Getting up is you need to practice. So it sounds really weird, but we set aside like 15 minutes each day where we actually go and practice the process of getting up.
Really?
Yeah, so you'll set an alarm. Well, so you change into pajamas, then you get into bed, and then you kind of I have a list on my phone where I have like the steps of like what I need to do before I get into bed and what I need to do right after I wake up. So you just practice setting an alarm and not snoozing, getting up and doing the motions. So it's like muscle memory, So I've been doing it for like a week or so, and today I got up at 7:30, which is like,
wow,
unheard of.
Is it feeling like more natural?
It's still hard, because it's just going against who I am as a person, a lazy person. So it's still hard, but I mean, you don't like run a marathon in a week. So I don't expect to wake up at 7:30 every single day from now on. So there are days where I'm still getting up at like 8:15, 8:30. So
do they have these things for people that need accountability working out? Or starting,
I mean, you can join our group. We're just a group of like 4 people that we have different accountability stuff every 2 weeks, and we check in and all that stuff. So
I like that. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
it would work for me. I am like next level lazy, but
Well, I think
it might
it's
be
like
worth a
you
shot.
don't really want to let down your friends. So
That's
you
true.
kind of like, because I can let down myself every single day. That's fine. I don't care. But I don't want to let down people who are quote unquote counting on me. You know, if they're all killing their goals and I'm not, like I feel bad. So
Okay.
it's like a psychological thing. Anyway, oh my gosh, this got way off topic.
You're the one that said you had a sleep timer. I'm sorry. That warrants some type of explanation.
I should have turned it off.
So,
All right.
veering back to ZippyPaws. Is your phone off though? We're good. We can proceed.
I'll check.
Oh my god.
I think we're good.
I'm only kidding. So, what's next for ZippyPaws? What's on the horizon? What are you excited
What's
about?
next? Well, as you know, we had big plans this year. We were going to redesign our booth that we use for trade shows. So every year we go to two major trade shows in the pet industry. Global Pet Expo in Orlando and Super Zoo in Las Vegas, but those have been canceled. So we're saving that money and we're kind of reinvesting into other areas. I think in the near goal, what I want to do is just continue to do what we do best, which is create toys, design toys. And obviously, I want to keep all of our employees, and we've done that so far through this whole global pandemic, and we're continuing to doing so. And this year actually has been pretty successful for us. In the beginning, in March and April, we were not sure how we would fare, and our sales were pretty low. But I think that because we were able to pivot so well and really rise up to the occasion, people in the industry know us like as a vendor they can trust, right? And we've always had a very strong presence in online e-commerce, such as Amazon and Chewy. So we've just continued to just focus on e-commerce channels. So that's been working really well for us, and we're on track to do the best year ever. So that's exciting.
That's exciting. It doesn't hurt that everyone is stuck at home with their dogs and their dogs are bored.
That's true.
So they're shoveling those toys out.
Yeah.
So I do want to talk about Storybook just because we just launched Storybook 2, which is very exciting. We had just launched Storybook 1 when I came on board to the company, but I love anything space related.
That's not true. We launched Storybook 1 like a year before you started.
Did you really?
Really? Yeah, I think so, right?
Why are you asking me?
I can't remember. I'm like terrible with these.
I feel like I thought you had just launched it when I interviewed, but maybe I misunderstood. Because was it one of my tasks to help think of ways to promote Storybook 1? And everyone laughs because I'm like, well, I'm not giving you all of my secrets until you hire me.
Maybe you're right, and I'm just remembering things wrong. It seems like years and years ago.
We're probably both wrong, and Justin and Mark are going to listen to this and be like, no, just focus on other stuff.
I honestly can't remember. You know how people are like, oh, 2 years ago we did this, and 3 years ago we did this. I'm like, I can't even remember what I ate for lunch yesterday. Like, this is, I don't know. You're probably right. So I'll say yes. And keep going. Sorry for interrupting.
No, I'm just really, 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 really excited about these. So the first Storybook line that we put out were Charlotte the Unicorn and Liam the Llama. And I love unicorns. I love llamas. But this round of toys just speaks to me. I am a space nerd. I grew up watching Star Wars, going to the Griffith Observatory. I love everything space. And I think I also grew up loving The Little Mermaid too. So Max the Space Explorer and Maddie the Mermaid. We need to share everything we can about these guys because they are fantastic.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people ask me about like what's storybook? Like what does it mean? And it's a little hard to explain cuz it's got a lot of levels to it. So the idea of storybook was born when I was looking for a gift for my cousin's daughter. So I was going to visit them and I wanted to bring her some presents, and my cousin told me just to bring her daughter books because she wants her to learn, like no toys, no stuffed animals, just books. So I was like, okay, cool. And I was like in Barnes Noble, like flipping through all these like kids books, and I was like looking at like the younger kids section, and there were all these like really awesome illustrated, well designed books that had really good aesthetic, right? And I was like, you know what? Maybe we should do something like that with dogs. Like, why can't I read to dogs? And this was when I wanted to kind of tie together the idea of like dogs are kids. You know, I'm growing up. Some of my friends have kids, but I don't. I have dogs, so like I didn't want to feel left out, right? So I thought, why don't we treat our dogs the same as kids? Like have a storybook, have a main character, and then have like supporting characters, and they go on this adventure together. All right. And you can also, for the people who have kids, you can involve your kids and have it be a family affair where you can have your kids read to the dogs and, you know, play with these toys all together as a family. So that's where the storybook idea was born. And I wanted to go a step further. And so when I came out with the first two lines, Charlotte and Liam are actually the names of the kids of one of our employees. So we just kind of tie in that feel that ZippyPaws treats its employees just like family. Honestly, I think of us as a big family, and we talk all the time. And, you know, like I wouldn't be here without everybody working so hard, right? So I just wanted to kind of like tie everyone together. And Liam is, or when we launched, Liam was a 2-year-old son of Justin, our director of operations, and Charlotte, I think she was 4. So I kind of like really looked at their personality and what they like. And Charlotte was, you know, very girly girl. She loves rainbows and sparkles, and you know, she's just like very happy girl. So I thought unicorn would suit her very well. And Liam was 2 years old, but he loves to explore. He has a very big sense of curiosity. He's always like climbing things and running around. So I thought, why not a llama who is out for adventure all the time? And then when we started the new lines of Space Explorer and the Mermaid, I took inspiration from Max and Maddie, who are the son and daughter of our director of business development. That's a mouthful. That's a big title. And they're a little bit older. They are, I believe, 11 and 15. Does that sound right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Maddie's getting ready to drive, so she's got to be close.
Yeah, so she must be 15. Wow. They grow up so fast. Yeah, so I kind of, again, like looked at their personality, and I just wanted to bring the outdoors and kind of like the depths of the ocean into our story. And that's where we got the 2 characters.
And they're all so much fun. Bjorn's very picky with his toys that he chooses to play with. He's got he's got a box full of toys, but he's got his regulars, and they did not get switched up until the space line came out.
Ooh,
the planet tug, he goes everywhere. He hits us with it. He throws it in the air. He squeaks it. So I see those a lot.
Yeah, just kind of wanted to use like these toys to kind of open up more conversation, and I love how the colors all play together to create a cohesive line, and I want to bring some of our best sellers into each single line. For example, like in the Space Explorer line, we have burrows, of course, are one of our best sellers, and we did a UFO with 3 little green aliens that have been very popular, and 3 stars in a moon burrow.
I love that.
And yeah, me too. And I also wanted to bring on our rope tugs in the shape of a spaceship. And what else do we have in there? We have another.
Yeah, the other rope. The other rope toy.
Yeah, the other rope is a solar system.
Did you say the TPR planet?
TPR planet. You said that, yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so we wanted to bring in some of the best sellers in every single category and turn them into like a whole collection of toys that look really good together, and I don't know, just so fun.
It was a lot of fun. And speaking from a creative standpoint, having all the toys play so well together was just a marketing dream. We had a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, and they're getting a lot of good feedback, so I'm excited for those lines. We
just gave away 2 full space collections on social media, actually, for ZippyPaws.
Yeah, I saw that.
A lot of people were excited about that one, and there's a good chance we'll probably do the ocean one soon too. So for those of you listening, if you're not already following ZippyPaws too, that's a gold mine if you like to get toys given to you.
Shameless plug.
This podcast is brought to you by ZippyPaws. There is nothing shameless about it. Now, if I was blasting my Instagram, which is never going to happen because I want people to leave me alone, that would be shameless.
You're right.
Shameless plug.
Correct.
I am your marketing manager. It is my job to plug your...
You are absolutely correct. Who am I to say?
Jen's like, don't plug ZippyPaws, please.
The whole episode is on ZippyPaws and how we got started, and I'm like, don't talk about ZippyPaws, please.
Oh gosh. So as we kind of wrap up the ZippyPaws saga, what do you hope that ZippyPaws brings to, I don't want to say fans, that sounds horribly arrogant, but to the consumers, to the people that buy ZippyPaws, what do you hope it brings to them?
That's a good question, because I have like so much that I want to do, that I want to bring, right? And how do we accomplish that? It seems like very daunting, and I think that also ties into like what's next on the horizon, like what are we gonna do in the future? And I think overall, I want to continue to bring really fun, really new and exciting toys into the market. I'm not necessarily thinking that they'll be like industry groundbreaking or anything like that with technology, but continue to do like fun designs, like toys that you want to receive as gifts and toys you want to give as gifts. They just like bring joy into your life. And I see a lot of people who adopt dogs, and the first toys that they get with their foster or their adoptee are ZippyPaws toys, and I really enjoy that, and I want to continue to kind of like share the love of dogs and the excitement with, whether you're whether you're a first-time dog owner or, you have a lot of dogs at home. Like, I just want to bring that excitement embodied in the ZippyPaws toy. And I think also I want our social media to be like an inspiring place for people to go and find information and really look at like good photography, a place for people to like feel free to ask questions and just like interact with other dog moms and dads, and just be like a really like fun place to be, right? And also kind of like with our podcast, I wanted to open up the dialogue, open up the conversation about how to be a better pet parent, just like resources to find new things in the industry, and to like I don't know, like look for different resources too to like help you become a more responsible pet parent. What else?
That's not enough. Oh my gosh.
That's not enough. Okay, so I mean, I have like very lofty goals of, traveling the country, and we've been talking about this too, where we want to partner with like shelters and volunteer organizations to help, and I want to also create my own ZippyPaws store, experience store. I don't know, who knows when that will happen, but
I mean,
yeah, I have big dreams.
The limit. I love it. Well, thanks for coming to Jen's TED Talk, guys.
Next time I'll wear a power suit and be on stage,
and scare people.
And not be in my my spare bedroom.
So here's a fun little here's a fun little marketing tip that kind of parlays into what Jen is not so subtly suggesting. When you are talking about your brand and talking about your company or anything that you're passionate about, it's very important to know who your audience is, but even more so, it's important to know who you are, because people can kind of see through the garbage, if you will. And we've worked with people in the past who are just hell-bent on changing who Jen is. And I think you have a pretty good indication of who she is. From this conversation alone, right? I think you're very relatable. I think you're very good at what you do. And people take you seriously and they trust you without the need for a power suit. But we've had people that have instructed Jen, don't wear jeans when you're talking to people, you have to wear a suit. Or don't smile, you need to be serious, and you need to make sure people understand that if they don't buy your toys, their dogs are going to die. And that sounds like I'm editorializing, but that's advice that we've been given. And so if anybody out there is listening and feels uncomfortable about who they are as a person or who their brand is, don't be. Because part of what makes ZippyPaws and so good is that it's who Jen is. It's an embodiment of who Jen is. And it's something that I think everyone probably goes through at one point in their life, but that's my little marketing tangent. Don't be afraid to get up on a stage in jeans and in a t-shirt. There's nothing wrong with that. What you are wearing, what you are comfortable in, does not dictate your knowledge and your skill. I've done it. I've given digital marketing talks in ripped jeans and a leather jacket, and everyone around me was in a suit. So I think I'm pretty knowledgeable.
And that's the first of Ashley's marketing minute.
That was a really rough market. Can we have like metal? Can I just get like, that's what I need. That needs to be my intro piece.
To your marketing minute segments? Yeah, I think we do.
Ashley's metal marketing minute. Ooh. No one's gonna listen to it.
Ashley's MMM.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's our cue. But no, I feel like you were gonna add something to that. It's important though. It's being who you are doesn't take away from your experiences and what you know. You're a leader in this industry.
Yeah, and I just wanted to agree with you. I was going to just say that you're absolutely right. And, sometimes I feel like we can like talk a lot about this too, but I feel like I have imposter syndrome where, I do run this company and I am well known, or at least my company is well known in the pet industry. But I'm just like your regular gal, I love my dogs. I just got a rug ruined by Birdie the other day. She like threw up on my rug. So, I'm just your average dog mom, right? And I just happen to work in the industry. That's how I feel. And I don't feel like some like powerful boss lady where I wear like a power suit and, gold jewelry, and I go into a boardroom and I slay and I fire people left and right. Like that's not me. And if that's you, that's awesome, right? That is just not me. Like, I like to be at home. I like to travel. I have my plants. This is just, I feel like I'm just not going to change myself to become this version that people want me to be.
That isn't authentic. People are going to see right through that. You're not going to be comfortable. It's just going to be a bad situation all around.
Yeah. So I just like to be comfortable with myself and with the company that I'm growing. And if that resonates with you, then that's awesome. Come join our pack. But if that's not you, that's cool. You can find your own pack, right? So that's all. That's what I'm over here preaching. So
I am receiving. I'm digging it. Oh, Bird.
Birdie's like, I'm out of here. My mom doesn't know what she's talking about.
Oh, hardly. But if you do want to boop that follow button, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Dog Mom Podcast, and our website at www.zippypaws.com/Dog Mom Podcast.
All right. Catch you guys next week.
I feel like you should plug your Instagram.
Oh, ZippyPaws.com. And
that's not your
at ZippyPaws. And you can find us on Twitter at ZippyPaws. You can find us on Facebook at...
That's not your Instagram.
I don't want people coming to my Instagram. I mean, if you want to, follow me, that's cool, but I don't even post.
At Jen Koala.
Yeah, because koala is my favorite animal. That's why.
You gotta play. This is the story of Zippy Paws, which is essentially the story of you. You gotta share. People want to see. Go look at all of her awesome travel pictures and her cute dogs.
My past life.
And her dog dad, hubby.
That's true. A lot of people really like Nick, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback on his episode. I think it was episode 3. People love him more than they love me. So if you want to see him, come to my page. I'm just trying to get his followers.
follow all the social accounts.
Are we done plugging?
Right. We're done plugging.
All right.
Bye, guys.